girl, welcome to this brave new world. Don't believe them, question everything you can.
Hi, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I am Lux, and I post what I eat in a day, vlogs, skincare routine, recipes, workouts, yoga, all of that stuff. So if any of that interests you, please subscribe, and let's get into the video. In today's video, as you see, this is about my lip tattoo. Lip blush is what it's actually called, but it's a tattoo. It's a straight up tattoo gun on your lips. The tattoo gun that is for lip blushing doesn't go as deep as like a regular tattoo, so it's not as intense, but it's needles in your face. If you're looking to get lip blushing done, you gotta know it's full on. It's a tattoo on your lips. So I wrote everything down about my process, my healing process and all that. So if you see me looking down, that is why. Something to state before I get into this is please make sure that you do your research and you find somebody that knows what they're doing and has a lot of experience and is knowledgeable on the subject. So I found this woman through a friend of mine, and I looked at her website and read through all of her stuff and her credentials and all that, and I booked an appointment to get a facial with her first so I could see her space and ask her more questions about the lip blushing. I think a week or two, she was like pretty booked up. She also does microblading and eyeliner tattoos, which is like, I mean, good for you if you can do that, but just whoa. I couldn't even, no. It's a lot. So I think it was about 1 or 2 weeks after I made the facial appointment, and then I went in and got my facial and loved her. She's super sweet and definitely knows what she's doing. She's been doing this for a while. So I asked her a bunch of questions about the lip blushing, and she filled me in on all the questions that I wanted to know. And that day I went home, right after my appointment, I went home and put my deposit down for my lip blushing appointment. And then I think it was like a month later, I had my appointment. So my appointment was around 3 p.m. I made sure that I ate a lot of food before going in because I knew that I would be there for probably like, I think she said 2 to 3 hours. I think I was there for 2 hours. And so I made sure that I ate a lot and hydrated a lot also, because I knew that it was gonna be hard to eat and drink afterwards. Right after you get it done, well, I would say, I think it was like the whole week after, no citrus, no spicy foods, and no hard kissing. So I went into my appointment, and once I got there, we sat down and figured out a color that I desired. Before I went into my appointment, I actually researched, took a bunch of screenshots and brought in pictures of the desired lip color that I wanted to achieve by doing this. So once we got in, she already kind of had an idea of what I wanted. And we looked through some pictures and then decided on a color, which was this. And once we decided on a color, she started to outline my lips and put some numbing cream on and some plastic over that. And I laid like this for probably 30 minutes while she mixed a color and waited for the numbing cream to kind of soak in and numb me. Once I was fully numb, I wasn't. Once I was numb, she started to tattoo me. So she started with the liner, which the liner needle is much smaller. I don't know about much smaller, but it's smaller than the shading needle. So she did the liner, and every I don't know, 15 minutes she would rub more numbing cream on me because she could clearly tell that I was struggling. It's definitely not as bad as just like a regular tattoo because it's not as deep, but your lips are very sensitive. So getting a needle, yeah, it was not fun. So she kept numbing me, and then she did 2 rounds of the liner, and then she switched the needle to the bigger one, which is the shading needle, and just started shading into my lips. And honestly, like right in here and in here was the worst, hands down. So she like kept applying some in there, but I still felt it. So I think that she did 2 rounds of the liner and then two rounds of the shading, and then switched the needle again. And before she switched the needle, she put more numbing cream on me and let me sit for like another 20 minutes so I would be more numb. And then she switched the needle, came back in and did more after like she cleaned it up so she could see like what she was doing. She did more of the liner, and then I think she switched the needle after that and did more of the shading, and then like fully cleaned me up and inspected me and made sure that there wasn't any spots that she missed, which I think that there was. So she just did some more in through here, which was the worst part ever. And she kept having to do more in here because apparently like in through here doesn't take the ink as well as other spots. So she was like going in there hard, and I was just like, oh my god, is this over yet? So by like the last 2 rounds, because she had numbed me so much, I didn't feel anything. Like I felt like the pressure and like the vibration of her using the tattoo gun on my mouth, but I felt nothing, so that was really nice. And then she fully cleaned me up, gave me some water to swish around in my mouth because it was all up in my teeth. I'll show you a picture here. And then we took some after pics, and this is the before and after. Before I left, she gave me a little healing ointment that I was to put on every like 20 to 30 minutes. Basically, anytime my lips felt dry, I would put that on. So every like 20 minutes, I was putting it on. After my appointment, I picked up dinner and went home, and eating dinner was a struggle. So like I could like only open my mouth like this. So I was like trying to eat mashed potatoes, like shoving it in my mouth. I wasn't really able to eat much after my appointment, which I'm glad that I ate a whole bunch before. And then I went to bed. So throughout the night, anytime I would wake up, I would apply the ointment, and I get up and pee like twice, probably in a night. So I applied the ointment a couple times while I was sleeping. And let's talk about the healing process. The day after I got it done, I woke up and my lips were so swollen. Like my fiance was like, I don't like to look at you, because it looked like I had lip injections, which if you get lip injections, that's fine. You do you, boo. But for me, I didn't like it. It didn't look good. I was like, I just want the swelling to be over. So thankfully the swelling only lasted like a couple days, but my lips were like, to do this, like it was super tender. To just like do anything, I could only open my mouth like that. And yeah, just eating was a struggle, and drinking things were a struggle because I didn't want to like get things on my mouth. Also, anytime I ate or drank anything, I would I would just like kind of like dab it with some water and a little light soap, natural soap, and then I would put the ointment on immediately after so that it get dried out. Day 2, they started to get really hard and stiff. Like I woke up and it was just like a hard shell of crustiness over my lips. It doesn't sound nice and it didn't look nice. This is what they looked like. Day 3, they hardened even more and finally started to flake off a little bit.
This is day 3. You can see that it's all starting to peel off. Well, it's not peeling off, it's flaking off. And it's like super crusty. Like it just feels like my lips are really chapped. And there's like a thick layer of just crust. I can't even feel my lips. Like that's really tight just to do that. So yeah, this is day 3.
Day 4 started flaking even more. It was like really crusty and really like, I think day 4 was the grossest day that they looked, in my opinion.
So I wanted to take a quick little video before I put the ointment on to show you the peeling happening. This is day 4. They just feel extra tight. They're not sore or anything. That's about as far as I could open my mouth. But yeah, reached a whole another level of chap today.
And then by the night of day 4, like a lot of it had flaked off.
Night of day 4, This part has already peeled almost completely off. This is about to come off. I'm not going to touch it, obviously. I'm just going to add some more ointment. Can't wait for all the outer edge to flake off so it doesn't look terrible, but I love it. It looks so gross right now.
By day 5, pretty much everything had flaked off. There was still some like around the liner that hadn't, but I was still, like, even though it had flaked off, I was still applying the ointment constantly. Because of it flaking off, my lips felt really dry, so I was just like every 10 minutes, I'm just like applying.
Day 5. It's pretty much all peeled off except for like right around here and a little over here. But yes, it's looking so pretty.
And by day 6, the big chunks had all flaked off. The only thing was my liner started being like dry again and like started flaking off again. So it was just doing more healing because she did more rounds of the liner. And you can probably see that my liner is a little darker than the rest of my lips. By day 7, everything was pretty much healed. It was just like a little dry and a little flaky still. And this is what it looked like. The next day, everything was healed and I felt beautiful. So the woman who did my lip tattoo offered a free touch-up as well, just in case you didn't get the color that you wanted. Like sometimes it can fade, and yeah, sometimes it isn't what you wanted or isn't what you expected. So I went in 3 months later, I think it was, and got my touch-up, which was pretty much exactly the same process, except it was only like half of it. So like she only did half the layers over my lips. So that means it only took half the time to heal because she wasn't going in as over my lips as many times. So it probably healed within a few days. And this is after the touch-up. And then this is what my lips looked like after the touch-up had healed. So yeah, I think that's about it. I think I said everything that needed to be said about it. If you have any questions, if I didn't say anything that you're wondering, please comment down below and let me know and I will try to answer it. This is what my lips are now after 6 months of getting the lip blush, and I love it. It is like one of my most favorite tattoos that I've gotten done, and I have like a lot of tattoos. So it saves me time and energy not to have to apply lip color to my lips, and also it's better for the environment because I always had lipstick or lip gloss or whatever, lip tint that I would buy. So I'm like constantly buying these plastic tubes, like that's not good for the environment. So it was nice that I could get this done and not have to worry about that ever. It lasts about 3 to 5 years, and I will probably get it done once it fades because I love it so much. So yeah, I definitely recommend, if you have the money to do it and you've been thinking about doing it, definitely do it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe.